All right, man. Let's talk about how people would feel if the Detroit Lions drafted tight end Michael Mayer in the first round. I think Take-A-Don or whoever Pro Football Focus had the Lions taking Michael Mayer. Hopefully, I'm saying it right, from Notre Dame. And I've been watching him since a freshman. He a beast. 6'4". I mean, he came in right away, transitioned to college football right away. Really, really good. You hear a lot about the Georgia tight end being really, really good. He got one more year to go in Georgia. But Michael Mayer came in as a phenom in Notre Dame. Big physical guy. Got some comparisons to Gronkowski. Um, built good, about 6'4". Well, that's what they list him at. Just physical. I watched him this year. Good year this year from what I seen him. But it just seemed like the Lions drafting the tight end continues to be a bad omen. In the first round. Now, if he slide to the second round, I mean, you know, I guess it would be fair game. But I like the way the Lions tight. I like the Lions tight ends. Everybody feel like if you don't have the names, that you don't have a tight end. But we don't really utilize the tight end. We don't really utilize the tight end like that. You know what I'm saying? We really don't utilize them. So, I mean, I like, Brock Wright, Zane Zelstra, and I think James Mitchell, a year removed off the ACL. I like what you got going there. I think, Zelstra and Mitchell are more pass catching, athletic, tight ends. Mitchell is athletic and run. Zelstra good in the passing game, a little bit more athletic and run. Brock Wright, block, release, but I don't think that's the wave. Historically, I mean, Pettigrew, Ebron. I mean, a lot of people want OJ Howard. You know, Evan Ingram, David Njoku. A lot of these dudes that win the first round, I believe all of them win the first round. OJ Howard did, and Njoku, I think at the end, maybe early second. Evan Ingram, I think, went, but you got to understand too. That we have a hard time finding ways to get them the football. That's the difference. It wasn't like they was getting. Then one time they game plan for TJ this year. I can remember it was the Seahawks game. And they found a way to get him the football. He had a bunch of targets. I think he had a bunch of injuries, but I mean, they just don't. Historically, they just don't do a good job of abusing the tight end. Looking at what Kansas City do to Travis Kelce, they make him number one. And for you to draft a tight end in the first round, we know it's going to be an adjustment for him to come in and do good. You look at what's the kid from Kyle Pitts, had a great rookie year. Second year wasn't so great. Obviously, it's different going from Matt Ryan to Mariota, Desmond Ridder, Calvin really being out there to not being out there. So a lot changed for him, but the tight end position take a few seasons to get there. You got the blocking scheme, they got different ways of how they gonna guard you. But if I'm gonna take a tight end in the first round, I need him to be utilized eventually, like Travis Kelce is, used and abused. Mark Andrews and Lamar out there, used and abused. You need to, how they used Antonio Gates, where we're game planning for ways to get him the football, and that's what Michael Mayer deserved. That's what he deserved. Hope I'm saying his name right, from Notre Dame. He deserves a game plan in which is going to focus what he can do. And one thing I know is with the Lions, they just had a hard time finding ways, even with Ben Johnson, under Caldwell and Joe Lombardi, and whoever was the play caller under with Matt Patricia. I can't even remember no more. Who was calling plays with him? Whoever it was, they had a hard time getting the tight ends getting vertical. Ebron went to Indianapolis and he was able to get vertical. He was able to get vertical and get down the field, and that was the best he done in his career. And that's been a huge problem with Detroit. They'd have an issue with getting their tight ends vertical and getting the ball to them creatively. And they found some ways to get, Mitchell the ball, get Zelstra the ball again. They found the way to get Bright Wright the ball again, in a few games and creatively. But, if I'm going to take a tight end, I need to find a way to abuse them. How they find ways to get the ball, they forced it to Calvin Johnson. That's what you pretty much looking at. You know, people look and say, well, they don't have a name. Man, as long as they, you know, blocking and holding and we catching the ball when they need them to catch the ball, I mean, you know, three-headed monster not gonna cost you nothing. Some games is gonna be Brock Wright that's gonna get the, you know, who gonna catch the ball. Some days it's gonna be James Mitchell. Some days it's gonna be Shane Zelstra. It's cool, long as the job get done. But it's not like it's a full-time position in which they counting on it. Hawkinson needed to be involved, and that's one thing Minnesota did. They found a way to get him involved. You know what I'm saying? And they found a way to keep him engaged into the game plan. And you're gonna draft a Michael Mayer 18. I mean, even in the second round, or are you gonna find a way to get him involved? And the chances is he's not gonna help you. Like I said, the whole thing is the Lions taking over the North. The Lions coming next year. They got a chance to do something, win a playoff game, and make a Super Bowl run. Y'all remember that. That's the thing. That is what people are starting to believe. So drafting a tight end and throwing in your tight end room, you got to find a way to give him the football. You know, a lot of people say, well, what would you do? You know, I look at 6, and I look at 6 as a pure luxury pick. I can stash 6. I can take some chances with 6. If there's nobody there I want and I can't move down to get what I'm looking for, I can stash it. I can stash a Richardson. I can stash a Young. I can stash a whatever. I can do whatever I want. But looking at 18, it gets interesting there. If I'm moving on from Jeff Okudah, then guess what? The door is open to draft a cornerback. If I'm looking at Jeff Okudah as a good number 2 cornerback, then the door is open for me to do some other things. Possibly trade it for a known commodity, for a corner. Possibly if I can go out there and get Greedy Williams, Bradbury, I can sign a cornerback that I really like and fit what we doing. Cool. Then I can take 18. I don't know what you do with it then. I can take a chance on the Texas running back. I can, you know, so they got a lot of options there. A lot of options. So, but you know, I'm looking at 18 as a show pick. That's where you at. I'm looking at 6 as a pure luxury pick. Best available. I don't give a fuck what side of the ball he on. Long as eventually as he work out. Now, let's say you get a guy that you really, really love and you need, and you let Jalen Carter bow. Let's just say in some imaginary world you get him at 6. You know, you get to 18. Now 18 becomes the luxury. So do what you want. But, you know, like I said before, if I get 2 guys that can help me next year, my first 2 round picks, unlike in the previous years in which you took Penisa Will, Anazorki didn't help you. Last year, 2 of your first 3 picks couldn't help you immediately, being Jameson Williams, being Josh Pascal. So when you talk about cornerbacks, a lot of times they don't help you right away. And you got a room full of young-ass DBs. You need a vet. Tight end, I like the rotation they got at tight end. I like for what they do. You know, it's not the vocal point. It's not the heart of the offense as far as pass catching. They got a nice balance, and they drafted James Mitchell in the 5th round for a reason last year. So if you take Michael Mayer from Notre Dame, you better be sure that he's that guy, or he will grow into that guy. And then what you got to say then, at number 6, you got to get a guy that's going to help you right away. 2nd round picks, you got to get people that's going to help you right away. So it's the big question. But you're talking about positions that help you right away: wide receiver, running backs historically, wide receivers, running backs, edge rushers, interior linemen, safeties. Kind of some of the guys that transition, you know, pretty well. But there's always exceptions to the rules. Chiefs won a championship with, you know, McDuffie from Washington as one of their main corners. So, but check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me everywhere from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Link tree, the first link in the description. Peace.